Hey everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. Welcome to our monthly modality message. Okay, well, you know the drill, or Mr. O will lengthily explain it to you.
Well, modalities is another way of looking at the signs of the zodiac. You know, we usually cluster them in their elemental associations, but there are also the modality associations. And so this is our unique tarot reading where we look at your modality association in relationship to the cards we pull. And so we do them in order of the way they normally are. So we start with the cardinal modalities, and cardinal modalities
which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn.
And so they have, you know, characteristics that unite all of them. Even though they are all from different elemental signs, their modality is cardinal. And this is what that means. They are initiators. They get things started. They're active. They're quick. They have drive and ambition, vim and vigor. They are no slackers. You know this one over here. Enthusiastic, a zest for life, clever. They want to win, but they do have a couple of maybe some negative traits, and I'm going to let Banshee say what her negative traits are.
Well, I can't speak for myself here, but you know, some of us cardinals are too domineering. We're self-centered, forgetting about others as we focus on our own stuff, and also we don't finish what we start. Guilty as charged there.
So anyways, like I said, this reading is for all of those modality signs, all of those cardinal signs. And we're going to start off with the basic idea.
Mm-hmm.
You can say it.
Oh.
Since I'm shuffling.
Okay, well, you know, the basic idea, the first card is going to be the primary focus for the cardinal signs or the cardinal modalities in the month ahead.
All right.
So, fingers crossed, my fellow cardinal signs. Let's hope we have a good month ahead. And this reading will be good till the sun enters the sign of Virgo. Happy birthday to all of our Leo friends out there.
Oh, yes, I know we have quite a few of them.
It's Leo season.
Okay. Card 1, as Banshee mentioned, is the primary focus for the Leo.
You have the Nine of Cups, Cardinals. The Nine of Cups. You want me to start here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Could we get any better than that? You know, this has to do with our, yeah, pull back where you need. That's fine. This has to do with us, our primary focus on getting and manifesting what we desire, you know. It's just not gimme, 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 universe. We have to manifest it, and we have to put ourselves into it. But that is our focus, you know. Maybe for some of us, we have manifested it, you know, and now we're basking in it. But I really think the primary focus is about the act of manifesting our desires.
Right. You have to really dream it to believe it, as they say. And, you know, the Nine of Cups is that wish card. So really that is the focus, is figuring out how to make your wish happen.
Indeed. So next?
Well, card 2 is the role that your interactions with others will play in the month ahead.
Well, it's the King of Cups reversed. Pull it back here so you can see the card. There we go. Sorry about that. So it's cardinal. It's interesting. It's cardinal water. So it relates to the Cancers a bit here. The King of Cups reversed. Well, you know, sadly, okay, you know, your interactions with others may not be that happy. You know, they may be causing you some issues, some problems. Perhaps they've been an impediment towards manifesting and achieving
Bingo, that's just what I was going to say.
Ooh, okay. I'll stop there and let you take it.
Well, I think that's clear. What that means is that maybe you're unhappy, and maybe showing that as only maybe a Cancer may be able to do when they feel unhappy, kind of projecting that outward, and you feel that maybe others haven't, won't, are able to help you with your wish.
Right. And so, you know.
So you may
there's
be
some-
cutting off people who could be helping you because you sort of have some bad feelings.
Well, true, because, you know, there is a sense of, hey, I'm here for you. Why are you not here for me? Maybe kind of
That.
thinking that's going on. You might be feeling like people are letting you down. All right, so card 3 is the opportunities or challenges you might face, cardinal signs, in the month ahead, and how best you can achieve or tackle them. Oh, well, I know
Another
how.
Cups, eh? Wow.
Yeah, it's the 3 of Cups reversed. So, again, you know, we have a reversal here, we have a reversal here. I think the best way, the challenge that you face in, you know,
Well, it sounds like you want to, you sort of want to be more critical of people, but really you have to find a way to get over, you know, any qualms you have with people and reunite with them rather than, you know, separate from them.
I'm not going to connect those two cards. I'm just going to say the opportunities or challenges you may face in the month ahead and how best to tackle them is to not overextend yourself, not overdo it, you know, in any area of your life. Sometimes the 3 of Cups can be about excess, overindulgence, and also maybe the idea is, you know, since you're unhappy with others, maybe you need to pull back a little bit from them if they're not being very helpful, you know, in your attempts to manifest something. You sometimes just have to, let the partying, the celebrating, the friend distractions go. And also maybe the needs of your friends go a little bit so you can focus more on you.
All right. Let's go on to card
Because
4.
that's what we cardinals do. We focus on ourselves.
Can't argue that. How can you use your modality superpowers to their best advantage?
Well,
more cups?
It's interesting because it's not a cup. It's the first one that's not. It's the 4 of Swords upright. And the 4 of Swords is Pisces Australis. Australis? Well, listen. It's interesting here because how you can best use your modality superpowers is basically by pulling back a little bit. I know you have a lot of this enthusiasm and drive. I know you want to manifest something in the worst way possible, but the best thing you can do for yourself right now is to just pull back a little bit and make sure you refresh, restore, renew your energy. Perhaps from a little bit too much partying or overindulgence or overextending yourselves, fire signs. You know, manifesting what you want can't be enjoyed if you're totally exhausted and wasted from the experience.
You know, each of the cardinal signs really has that ability to kind of be seclusive and I want to be alone kind of personality, maybe in different ways to differing degrees. And I think this is clearly, like Banshee says, is the idea that when you need to pull back and you need to work on self, this is what your superpower is knowing how to do that, to save face if necessary, to deal with the fact that sometimes there are emotional situations that you're not always able to, for whatever reason as a cardinal, to weather or navigate successfully with differing people. And so sometimes you hurt people you don't mean to, but sometimes people hurt you without realizing that they do that too. So really, take time for yourself.
I am petting Sonny with my foot to keep him on the ground and not on the table.
We don't know what will happen.
Some things you just got to do. You know, this, I have to say, this flies in the face of cardinal signs a little bit here. I almost get the feeling the best way you use your modality superpowers in this case is to really not use them at all. I hate to say that.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, because everything's about getting things moving here, vim, vigor. I would say this, you want to conserve or you want to replenish and restore, you know, because it seems like it's depleted. And so, in a sense, this is a time, maybe a month to pull back a little bit more. Yes, you should work on truly what's the most important to you, what you want to manifest. You should just let go of others, or don't be upset because others aren't helping you. Just manage it yourself. Pull back. Pull back from overextending yourself for others or other distractions at this time so that you can refresh, restore your energy to work on what's really important to you.
How many cardinals do you ever see in a flock? They're usually alone, and so
That's true.
Maybe that's
Or
what this is saying really, is that cardinals are going to work best on their own overall this month. They're going to interact with others, but they may find that their best situations are when they're able to really look inward and focus for themselves, because that's where their manifestation should be leading them.
Nice, Mr. O. Let's move on. How about we move on to our friends, the fixed signs. And they are?
Ah, yes. Well, I'm one of them, right? Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and moi, Scorpio. So tell us about our positives.
I will. Why don't you shuffle while I do?
I'd rather just sit here and glow.
Well, they do have some positives, I'll say. First off, they're very steadfast. It's rumored that they're stable, determined, resolute, self-reliant. They forge ahead, and they calmly work on their objectives, not swear at the computer. Remembers those who've helped them. They're very persistent. They have high levels of concentration. They're powerful, yet purposeful. And there are no wasted motions when they're concerned. You should go with one on a shopping trip. Especially a Scorpio. But
that means
what is the dark side, Mr. O?
I don't want to tell you, and I can't be made to. We're stubborn. My way or the highway kind of thinking, a tendency to get stuck in our ways, and believing we're always right. You don't need that big shopping trip.
Oh,
bam, bam, bam.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
It's true.
Let me cut them for us, and let's get the show on the road for the fixed signs. I'll put them here, Mr. O. If you could grab them, put them here. All right.
Okay. So our first card is, once again...
Well, once again, it is the primary focus for the fixed signs. Modalities in the month ahead.
And it's the reversed Eight of Wands.
Oh, reversed. It's interesting because you know how we told them, the cardinal signs, to pull back. You guys have to pull back maybe for a different reason. Well, a similar reading, and I don't know if you're overextending yourself, but you're definitely burnt out. You do feel drained of energy. Perhaps also you may find that your focus this month is trying to pull things back together again, to try to get your focus back, to try to get people, to get the messages out to people and to get them to respond. It's almost as if communications are kind of scattered right now.
Fixed signs may have to realize that they missed the mark in some respects, and that this focusing is very necessary, because they kind of blew some of their capital in this way.
Wow. So number 2 is the role your interactions with others will play in the month ahead. Uh-oh.
It's the upright Five of Swords.
Jeez.
It sounds...
We are seeing this card a lot.
Yeah.
A lot
Well,
lately.
this card suggests maybe that people... Perhaps it's the actions of number 1, but perhaps it's just overall is bringing out a bad side in the fixed signs. It is kind of like that my way or the highway kind of thinking, but on steroids. To the victor goes the spoils. I'm going to let you jump in.
Oh my goodness, fixed signs. It seems like, there's conflict and arguments, disagreements that could really be big in this month ahead, either with people that are close to you, people that are in your, workplace, wow. And there's so much tension in society right now. I can't help but wonder, why we keep seeing this card so much. So it seems like people are not getting along. And sometimes in that case, the best thing you can do is walk away, is walk away. Is maybe this arguments and constant fighting and stuff bringing you down? Is this what's depleting your energy and making you feel really unfocused, whether it's on the job, in your personal life? Sometimes you just can't win, and it's best to let something go that is not going to work out. When there's no middle ground that can be reached, when people cannot be reasonable, it may be time to move on.
Wow, that was just pretty much like a fixed sign might have said it.
So card 3, what opportunities or challenges might you face in the month ahead, and how best can you achieve or tackle them? Oh, Queen of Cups.
So it's kind of better. It's the
That is
upright
better.
Queen of Cups here, maybe indicating that we can figure out we need to apply the kinder, angle to all of this, to understand with an emotional logic or intelligence, I guess you would say too, rather than just, the standard nuts and bolts issues of it.
Well, what I like about this card, slam, what about this card being here in the opportunities or challenges is basically with what we've seen so far, the Queen of Cups is indicating you have an opportunity this month, fixed signs, to try to show your better side, to show people love instead of anger and arguments, to try to also keep your emotions in check, and also to, when all else fails, to do what's right for you emotionally, to not allow others to manipulate or control you or deplete you of your energy. You can and should this month set some emotional boundaries.
In some decks I like the Queen of Cups because she really kind of exemplifies a sense of immersion in your emotionality and understanding it not really emotionally so much as maybe calmly, sort of like the waves of the tide or the waves of the moon, the energy. There are going to be high points and low points, and it's really kind of metering through that. That's the challenge.
That is indeed the challenge. Oh my goodness. So, all right, fixed signs, let's see how you can use your modality superpowers to best advantage this month.
Was that a 5?
No, it was Queen of Cups.
It was a 5 earlier.
Yes.
It's the reversed 5 of Wands.
2 5s in the reading again, and all about conflict. Wow. The best way you can use your modality superpowers this month. Oh my goodness, I just have to check something out here. I'm ready. Well, you know what? It's not a matter of stubbornness. It's not even a matter of thinking you're always right here, I feel. But this is a situation where you just are going to want to walk away from it, I really feel that. Maybe that you are done with conflict. You are not going to, maybe you were standing your ground in this argument because you had boundaries that you set. But the bottom line is that, you know what? You know when to hold them and when to fold them. And I think this is a time to fold them and move on.
I think to some degree, I can only speak for maybe Scorpios, but maybe the rest of the fixed signs are like that too. There is sort of a sense of a let it burn attitude too, but I don't think this is this exactly. I think this is sort of saying, well, if it burns, it's really not because of me. And that's the truth you need to uphold here, that by able to really realize, emotionally speaking, what's going on, you are probably able to transform and walk away as need be, or really just sort of let everyone know you're observing but not participating.
You know, Mercury is going retrograde during this period too, I believe. It may be retrograde before it goes into Virgo. I am not sure. But we might be feeling some of that shadowy stuff, and it just seems as though, you know, communications are going to be a little bit rough here. So let's recap this a bit again. We start off with that devastating, well, we start off with the Eight of Wands. The Five of Swords is next. That's right. That's no better. But the thing is, with the Eight of Wands reversed, you feel depleted. You feel like, and scattered. You know, you're scattered all over the place. You're unfocused. It's not a real good time, basically, for you to be involved in conflicts with others. And it could be causing this, to be honest with you. I think they're so interconnected here that conflict with somebody or some situation, whether it's workplace, office drama, whether it's in your relationships or your family, you know, they're depleting you, and they're causing you to be very unfocused and unable to direct your energy where it really needs to be right now. And so, you know, the best thing you can do is to try to, you know, is your opportunity this month is to be the better person. You know, one thing about the Five of Swords is that, you know, if you can't win an argument and nobody is going to budge, the best thing you can do is walk away with your integrity intact and not stoop to the level of others. So don't play dirty. Be the calm one in the room. Set your boundaries and then depart. You know, just say, I'm sorry, this is just not working out anymore, and move.
This just seems to be a really prickly month for the fixed signs. There's just too much going on, maybe intrapersonally, and your high point really is going to be trying to keep yourself calmer and maybe more able to understand other people emotionally somehow. And that will be your challenge, but I think it can work out. You know, you may have to walk away from some situations and just resolve that, you know, time heals some wounds. Or,
well, fixed signs, we hope so. That Five of Swords is really a harsh card. It's a harsh card. And especially, you know, with it coming out in the position of your interpersonal relations.
oh yeah.
It's like when we get it in a love reading, which has happened, you know, recently a couple times. So it's tough. All right. It's tough to mend some fences.
Well, finally then, on to the mutables.
Yes. Who are the mutables?
Mutables. You are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces.
Wow.
You're
Can you tell me about them?
You go with the flow. You are adaptable, flexible, versatile, highly resourceful. You can change when necessary. You are quite easy to change. Mercurio is a word that comes up sometimes. You can change, assumes various personas, chameleons basically. Well liked by others, enjoy learning, playing fair, diplomacy, sharp, just goes on.
Jeez, you guys. But I like the mutables. They're so flexible, you know, but that could be a problem for you guys, you know. You may try too hard to please other people. And you know, you can't make everybody happy. Come on. So you can be looked at as being wishy-washy when you do that. You know, it's kind of can make you look inconsistent and maybe even duplicitous at times, you know, as you shift to any way the wind blows. So that could be a negative. You can also, unfortunately, stretch that rubber band of yours too far to the breaking point, trying to be everything to everybody. Okay.
So,
do you want to pull the cards?
Yep.
All right.
Card 1, the primary focus for the next month or so. And it is the reversed Queen of Cups.
Uh-oh. Now we've got her reversed and at the primary focus.
And it's the primary focus. And so it's telling us a lot here that, you know, certain things are probably going to be really upsetting, emotionally speaking, or maybe making us really gauge what's going on with other people. There may be, conflicts. And when we looked at some of the other modalities, we saw they're on the edge of their seats with that. So maybe this is, your end of it is that you're going to have to, weather some of this too.
Well, what's very interesting to me, Mr. O, is the fact that, the mutables are the ones who are always trying to please and be there for others. But ultimately, it looks like your primary focus this month is you may need support from others. It could be emotional support. It could be support because maybe you're healing from something. But you definitely need a shoulder or somebody you can lean on. And I think that might be your primary focus this month. It's true that something may be emotionally upsetting to you this month, which may be the cause for reaching out to others. And don't be the person who's afraid to do that. Okay?
Here. That's pretty good.
So what about
card 2?
Interactions with others? What role will they play in the month ahead for the mutables?
It's the Prince of Pentacles, and that would be the Knight of Pentacles.
Is that upright?
It is upright. So your roles with others as a knight may be that you may want to not necessarily veer from your schedule. This is not a time necessarily to make some quick moves or quick changes or try to step up the pace. If you've been working with others on certain projects or levels at a steady pace, you probably want to continue doing that. Or in respect, if you've been going a little too fast maybe with others in various ways, maybe you want to find more of a pace.
I like that. The good news is that maybe you are pacing yourself, in your attempts to please and be there for others. But remember what I said here? That's the bad news is you're still trying to please others. And there you go. You're trying to be the benefactor and seeing what other people's needs are. But truly, I almost feel like you need some looking after this month. That's just my perspective. Maybe as we see the rest of the cards, I might change that, because I could also see how this means that maybe, this disappointment or unhappiness or depression or need for healing could be because of the amount of help you have to give to others. Maybe a lot of other people are needing you right now. And you being that bold knight that you are, even though you're trying to pace yourself, maybe it's wearing you down a little bit emotionally.
Well, it could be that you may have to decide that even if this is, a kind of a good pace, maybe you really do have to even take it down more. I mean, there is a quality of maybe slowness here or going more steadily. So you have to decide for yourself if you are taking care of yourself.
Right.
Card 3.
Card 3 is the opportunities or challenges you may face in the month ahead and how you can best achieve or tackle them.
And we're back with more court cards, apparently. We have the reversed Prince of Swords. That would be the Knight of Swords.
Are these all court cards so far? Holy moly.
Well, yeah, they are. Queen and two knights. And so
this happened on our happy hour today. We kept pulling court cards.
But now it's happening for the mutables.
And I cut those cards. Okay.
So the reversed Knight of Swords as an opportunity or a challenge, it may say that once again, this is about pacing, that maybe there are some things that, you are ambitious about, but you really have to wait it out, perhaps.
This is just such a real crazy reading because the way it syncs up. It's funny here because, okay, I can't help but backtrack a little bit here. Here we are unhappy and needing of support from others. Here you are trying to support all these other people. You need to really slow it down. You're doing this too aggressively, perhaps, and it's wearing on you. And, you're not taking care of your own self needs. Or the other thing is, if you're very empathic too, and you're out there trying to do all these things for people who are truly in need of your support, You feel it. You carry that. Some of us are not very good at releasing that from them. You do not have to carry their burdens for them. You're supposed to assist them, you know, not have to take them all on into yourself, into your psyche, into your body. So beware the decisions that you make, you know, in this regard. Be sure that you are taking, you know, equal care of you. And ultimately, how can you use your modality superpowers to best advantage this month? It's a pentacle and it is reversed. It's 7 of Pentacles.
Okay. And it fits the narrative.
It does. How so?
Well, ultimately, your power is to basically figure out how to go ahead rather than wait. You're able to figure out what you can do on your own to maybe make the manifestation happen. It may be that you have to rely on your own resources or your own situations or energy to actually bring that out, and that you may have to avoid to some degree some of the things that intersect with others.
Well, 7 of Pentacles is an interesting card. You know, it can be about whether to stick with something or to let it go because it's not functioning properly or it doesn't seem to be working out. I think in this position, what it is saying, though, is it's time for you to get back to work in some way, whether it is moving on or whether it is... But I think, again, it's a matter of pacing yourself and making sure the timing is right for what you want to do. You know, 7 of Pentacles is a farmer, right? There's a right time to plant. There's a right time to sow. There's a right time to fertilize. There's a right time to nurture and watch it grow. And there's a right time to harvest. And so, you know, you have to make sure your timing is right, that everything is there that you need, and you may have to put in a little bit more effort. But this does not have to mean that you should set aside your own needs and concerns. I'm really worried about that because I see a lot of flip-floppiness in this reading.
Well, it could be that, you know, the mutables, you know, at times can really have a lot of things go back and forth for them, and that they really are adaptable and flexible, but everything does have a possible breaking point or a tension point. And so you have to be very careful that you're not over trying to please, but also underserving what your potential says you should be able to do.
Wow. All of these readings have been pretty heavy. So let's take a look at this again and try to make a little bit more sense of it. We do have the Queen of Cups reversed to begin with, which is interesting. I took it as saying that, you know, you're depressed or you're feeling like, you know, emotionally off, you know, and you really could use some support from others rather than always helping them out. Maybe also that's part of the problem is you've been extending yourself too much and you're taking on empathically some of the feelings that others are going through. Sometimes you have to be a little bit dispassionate about things in order to protect your own psyche.
Right. The Queen of Cups reversed as the focus really says that, you know, you are out of sorts emotionally speaking, and that maybe, you know, you need somebody else to check out on you. But there's no real indication that that's going to necessarily happen other than maybe the next card.
Well, I don't know, because obviously with the Prince of Pentacles, yeah, I guess I could look at it this 2 ways. So think about this a little bit, because maybe this is somebody who is coming to the rescue. The Prince of Pentacles could be that. The Knight of Pentacles could be that person. Somebody who's caring, somebody who's giving, somebody who's reliable and dependable. But that also sounds like you mutable signs. And so, you know, because people can kind of depend on you, but also, you know, this is saying that maybe, again, your interactions with others are the problem, is taking a bit too much out of you. And they could be a lot healthier if you offered support without getting so emotionally attached to it.
You might have to find really more specific persons who you can resonate to on this. Not everybody is going to be able to help you.
And so the third card, which is the opportunities or challenges, well, we had the page, which is the Prince's Knight. We had the Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords is reversed, which means, well, a couple of things here. The opportunity or challenge. The challenge is making the best decisions for yourself, you know. You've got to be able to find the balance here in what's equitable for all, including yourself. Oh, Knight of Swords. And so, you know, the other thing is that you've got to also, well, go ahead, I'll let you go.
Well, maybe that Knight of Swords reversed too is indicating that, you know, you can't appear to be over ambitious or over enthusiastic, because maybe others will contribute to some of the other cards in terms of not giving you support. Maybe everybody feels like you just have to learn on your own. So the challenge is really finding that balance.
You know, I wonder about this card too. I'm just thinking about it here because, you know, the Knight could be the coming or going of a matter connected with a decision of some sort. And I wonder here if, because you're so willing to please others, that you're willing to let others make decisions for you. In other words, you know, they need you now, so therefore you must jump. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So I just thought of that. And so being mindful that you need to control your own destiny, because remember, one of the problems here is that you can be very wishy-washy and you're trying too hard to please everybody. So it's possible you're letting them control, you know, the flow here. And so finally, that, well, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, okay. Right, just the idea about not being so enthusiastic necessarily.
And then, of course, there's the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Well, you have to figure out here what it is you truly want out of this situation. I think you're ready to move now in one way or another, whether you're going to, you know, help something grow and put more effort or work into it, or whether you're going to let things go because it's just been too much for you.
It's definitely a shift in some ways.
Yes.
It's a feeling that maybe now you could either have either choices. You know, you could either shift to something different, or you could say, okay, I've let this grow too long. I really need to do something with it, and maybe something can still be done with it.
So instead of ruminating and instead of feeling lost in a fog or that you're being pulled in different directions, you know, here you're finally, you know, you're finally deciding, I think, what needs to be done, right? That's pretty much what this is.
It's definitely a shift.
Yeah. So good luck with that. Holy cow. This has been, well, this has been some modality messages here, everybody.
Yeah.
Wishing you a great Leo season, however it's going to turn out for you. You know, enjoy the season. And we will see you again for another monthly modality message when the sun changes to
Virgo.
Virgo. Happy birthday to our Leo friends once again.
Happy birthday.
Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.